Welcome to the dojo. Battler X here with Season 6, Week 7 of the GBA Teambuilder versus Fizz TV, Fizz, FizzyStardust, whatever you want to call them, and the Atlanta Hawluchas. Now, last week, we lost a game that I think we could have won if we made a little more risky plays towards the end, but we did not. And unfortunately, we're 1-5, not doing well, last in the power rankings, so really there's nothing to lose at this point. Everyone's just kind of expected that we'll be terrible, so let's continue to be terrible. Or not. Let's not be terrible. I don't want to be terrible, but the analysts think we're terrible, so let's go ahead and let's make some noise against the Atlanta Hawluchas, huh? Let's stop being so terrible. Full disclosure, the team that I'm a coach now, fuck that. Owner, Mag, drafted, it's pretty terrible. We're making the best use we can of it, but the team of Fizz TV is really good. Volcanion, Salamence, Mega Scizor, Whimsicott. It's got a lot of good stuff, so we gotta try and do our best to break that, and we're gonna start with Counter Sandslash. Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Max HP, Max Defense, Adamant though, just to get a little extra damage on Earthquake on things such as, Porygon 2, to get that extra 3%, you never know what because if I don't get a Swords Dance up with you'll see one of the mons that I'm bringing, it's gonna be a lot of problems. So I'm gonna try to get as much damage as possible, or just extra damage because I live the stuff I need to live anyway. If Impish doesn't really do anything for me, so I'd rather get that extra attack. Counter for Swords Dance, Mega Scizor, potentially maybe I can get a +1, maybe like a +1 Salamence there as well. It'll kind of nullify the Intimidate that he's got. Stealth Rock to get hazards because his only hazard removal is Salamence and Mega Scizor, so I'm hoping that won't be the case. And, Rapid Spin to get rid of rocks in case he wants to go ahead and go that avenue. So, we've been making use of Sandslash a lot this week, and let's keep it going. Next, we got Mega Pincer, Hyper Cutter, over, anything, because it'd be nice if he brought in Salamence and Pincer. I can block the Intimidate Hyper Cutter. Swords Dance, Quick Attack, Close Combat, and Return. This could not be any more straightforward. I thought about going for Sub over Return, but I figured the fact that he's got Whimsicott, and now Whimsicott a lot of times runs Prankster, but because of my propensity to use substitutes, he might want to run an Infiltrator Whimsicott, but likely to bring Prankster Stun Spore just for something like a Mega Pincer, but he might have Infiltrator for my massive substituting. I have Heatran, so I'm not too worried about what a Whimsicott can do. But this thing, it 2 KOs, or OKOs almost everything. If I get a Swords Dance up, and the thing is, I can get Swords Dance up because he might, he's been running, some bulky Mega Scizors. So if he's running like a bulky, maybe Roost, Defog, Bullet Punch, U-Turn, something like that, then I can get up a Swords Dance right in the face of a Mega Scizor. I'm not worried about that. I can get up a Swords Dance against potentially Porygon 2 if he's running like Prankster, T-Wave, Whimsicott, and a Porygon 2, he's probably gonna have Toxic on Porygon 2, just to get more status. And if he has T-Wave, it's gonna just allow me to get a switch into. I've been running a lot of bulky Evires, and I'm bringing Evire this week, so it's gonna allow me to get some switches into bulky Evire. So if I thought about Sub of Return, but I'd like to have Return just in case he runs maybe like a Scarf Volcanion or something strange. Because his Volcanion this week can safely kind of just fire off Steam Eruptions, so he might want to run like a Scarf Volcanion, something like that, but, But again, this set, just kind of straightforward. And next up, we have Heatran. Timid Max Speed. Not allowed to outspeed a Mega Scizor if he wants to get a little cheeky with a superpower. The only superpower that Mega Scizor is going to have is dying to this fucking Heatran. Hidden Power Ice, of course, for the Salamence. Flash Cannon for stab against his fairies, and Ancient Power, because maybe, just maybe, if I can get a kill with something and get a boost, that'd be nice. But I'm not going to plan for that. I thought about going for Flame Charge to get some extra speed, but I figured Ancient Power, well, it could be good. Against Volcanion, and it'll hit it super effectively, and maybe I get a boost from that, and maybe I could live a Salamence Earthquake with my Shuca Berry. I can live a +1 Adamant Salamence Earthquake with the Shuca Berry because of my just natural defenses, and then maybe kill back Hidden Power Ice, or if it's low enough, get it with an Ancient Power. So that's also something we got there. But this is an offensive max speed Heatran, and I'm hoping I can bluff a Scarf or something with the Sugar Berry, but, you know, if I bring it in on something like on a Salmon, then he's gonna know, obviously. Or he might still might think that I'm Scarf, but if he goes for Dragon Hands, that's gonna be some problems. Now, because I trade away my only fairy, he can freely go for Dragon-type maneuvers with Salmon, so I'm kind of hoping he has Outrage so I can just go into Heatran and, you know, put that to an end right here and now. Yeah, that's this Heatran. It's offensive, and it's going to turn up the heat on FizzyStardust. Next up, we have Thunder Daddy, which is going to be Electivire. And this thing has enough speed to outspeed base 90s, as he is base 95 speed, and he's Adamant Life Orb. It hits everything on his team pretty hard. You know, I gotta watch out for Salmons, that's an issue. But, you know, I don't really fear Whimsicott that much. I can't be paralyzed. I don't really fear Porygon 2 if he's got Thunder Wave. And then I can come in and, you know, deal some damage to his slower mons. His team isn't all that fast either. You know, it's just Salamence, but also that counter Sand Slash could work against the Salamence. That'd be kind of nice. But this is just pretty straightforward to, you know, be immune to Volt switching from the Heliolisk, can cross-chop things, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, just for coverage. And maybe this will work out for me. You know, I can outspeed a Volcanion, hit it for a lot. So, I feel like he's going to try and do some shenanigans with Zoroark, but I don't really fear Zoroark too much. Because, you know, I mean, I have Meloetta, so you'll see that down there, but I'm weak to his stab. But I don't really fear Zoroark that much because my team is kind of bulky because I've hit certain speed tiers, and I've kind of dropped the rest in the bulk. And, you know, I have, you know, a bulky Heatran and Mega Pincer. It doesn't really fear much of anything, so I don't really fear Zoroark that much. But, you know, Zoroark will be able to outspeed me here, but it can't really do that much to me, so I don't really worry about that too much. Next, we have Jolly Reckless Choice Band Mienshao. The bottom two moves are more to fill. It's a filler. Mienshao learned from my school, guys. It's a strong mon. High jump kick should just demolish just destroy. Absolutely destroy. Now, his Heliolisk might be timid to creep a Jolly Mienshao at max speed, but I really wanted to have it to tie with Zoroark. I believe they're both 105. That's something I would like to have, because if he's not Scarf, then, you know, it'd be a roll, and I don't want to Scarf Mienshao. Jolly Reckless Band is going to hit everything so hard. I'm essentially going to be clicking U-turn until I need to click High Jump Kick at the end of the game. So that's what I'm going for with Mienshao here. Knock off to get rid of items, but I don't feel like going for U-turn and Stone Edge, I guess, if I'm predicting a Salamence to come in, but I don't think he'd ever bring in a Salamence in Mienshao anyway, but I have it nonetheless. Finally, max HP, max special defense, Calm, Serene Grace, Meloetta, Hyper Voice, Psyshock, Hidden Power, Fire, in case I run into problems with Mega Scizor and Toxic. Now, it'd be nice to go for a Toxic on a wall, such as a Porygon 2 or something, because, I don't know, Meloettas are, for some reason, people don't generally see them as defensive mons, I guess because they don't have their own recovery. But it has Heal Bell, and I can come in on anything Volcano wants to throw me. Now, I thought about for a while about going with some kind of a role-play Meloetta to copy Steam Eruption. That way he can't just Volcanion, or to copy Water Absorb. That way Volcanion can just run around with Steam Eruptions. But I decided against that at the end. I thought this was a bit more of a safer set. And, you know, I've been doing some crazy stuff the past couple weeks, and I kind of just want to settle down with it this week, because everything is pretty straightforward, except for the counter on Sand Slash, perhaps. But everything other than that is pretty straightforward. You know, I don't really need his speed when I have Pincer. His team's also pretty slow. If he wants to Scarf something of his, that'd be great. If he wants to Scarf, you know, he might bring, like I said, Scarf Volcanion with Steam Eruption. That'd be a little unfortunate, I guess. But I have Meloetta that can come in and just kind of sponge those, and then you bring in Mega Pincer to, you know, clean it up once that damage is done. So Meloetta is here essentially to be a switch into Volcanion. Everything else it does is just gravy. Maybe Toxic Porygon 2, maybe Toxic Salamence or something. But I would like to be able to kill a Mega Pincer, because Pincer might think he's safe against me, and then I hit with a Hidden Power Fire, and then, you know, Mega Pincer can. So relying on a lot of Mega Pincer this week. No, I won't say relying on. This team is kind of built around to deal damage to things, so Mega Pinsir and potentially Mienshao can come in at the end and just kind of clean up. I'm kind of hoping that's how this happens, and I guess let me know in the comments below how much of an idiot you think I am for bringing this team. Because, you know, everyone's better than me in the comments. Everyone. How the fuck am I last in the power? Trav, are you out of your fucking mind? You're fucking fuck. Fuck. Let's go out and get a fucking win, huh?